Thank you.
Mr. Chairman and members, Dan Carrigg on behalf of the League of California Cities. Our board of directors and organization is primarily dominated by elected officials that ultimately have to be accountable to their communities. And we've got major concerns with a number of elements of this proposal. Just briefly on the public engagement. This is one of the foundations of our government, is at least in this country, is that we open our doors to the public, we listen to their concerns, and presumably the local officials, the elected officials, adjust issues and listen to those concerns. One of the things I looked at when I was looking at this proposal is the preamble to the Brown Act, which is the law that is amended occasionally and you know, is, I know, supported in this building. It basically says, the people in delegating authority do not give their public servants the right to decide what is good for the people to know and what is not good for them to know. The people insist on remaining informed so they may retain control over the instruments they have created. So we're a creature of our residents and our communities, not you know, they're informing us. We're not necessarily controlling them. This bill would give a staff member the ministerial action issue. It would give a staff member the authority to, if you look, what I handed out this little document, and it's just, I just took the words out of the proposal, italicized them, didn't change them at all, but just kind of flagged a few things. A staff member could, not the city council or board of supervisors, could enact and amend a zoning ordinance, could issue a zoning variance, could issue a conditional use permit. I mean, these are the kinds of things that go to county boards of supervisors and city councils, and you can have a deliberative process. So I think there's a major area of concern in terms of removing the public and then having someone that's not directly accountable to the public making decisions that obviously impact property values and raise other issues. The other aspect of making something ministerial is, let's put it on the table, it's a project-level exemption from CEQA. That's what it is. CEQA only applies to discretionary decisions by government agencies. If you say it's ministerial, that decision is now exempt for the CEQA process. I think there also needs to be some review about how this proposal comports with SB 375. If you go into the statute and you look at the environmental protections that the legislature put in place, working with 375, you'll see a bunch of things missing from the list. I just tried to riparian areas. These are things that the legislature talks about when it talks about 375. Wildlife habitat, not talked about in here. Endangered species, native plants. There's a different definition of wetlands. I'm not exactly sure what that's about. Doing a preliminary endangerment assessment to make sure if there's toxics, historical resources. You know, these are all things that the legislature, the last time we talked about this in a comprehensive way, thought it was important. And also, of course, it was there was a streamlined environmental review, but not the elimination of it. The only other thing I would say maybe two more quick things. First of all, if you look at bullet number 4, there's a provision in here that says we're going to be paying relocation benefits. So presumably at the staff level, somebody's going to be deciding it's okay to take away a building, displace people, and then the public presumably is going to, and the taxpayers are going to be paying for the relocation. This is all going to be approved at a ministerial level with no real public discussion, no accountability. I think that's troubling. And then there's the catch-all at the end, which is any other law, whether it's presumably a state law or local law that's in conflict to this, is somehow preempted. This is a major proposal. It deserves not just one hearing in a policy committee. You need to look at this closely, make sure what are all the other laws and policies that this body has found important along the way, and make sure that we know the full implications of this measure. So those are our concerns.
Thank you, sir.